Hey guys, welcome to our channel. So now, as I promised, I was going to try to decode in Nirvana's In Bloom, that big old decode. I was going to try to do it again and see if they hit the stock market. Did they? Want to guess? I'll go back to the original extractions, and they are right here. Where am I? Right here. These were the original extractions, all the way down to your last 7 S's. All right. And before, if you recall, and I'll provide the link, we had all genes and chemicals. You know, they were looking up genes, they were calculating genes and calculating chemicals and chemical chemical engineering and bioengineering. All right. But did they hit the stock market? Let's find out. You started right away with T, which we know is AT&T on the New York Stock Exchange, right? But that could be a coincidence, so we move on, and we know, because we've seen this before, Hawaiian Electric on the New York Stock Exchange is HE. All right, and we know, if we back that up again, we know that, and that's the New York Stock Exchange as well. If we back that up again, we know that TH is Thera Technologies Incorporated on the Tokyo Stock Exchange. All right, then you get to AR. What could AR be, right? How about Antero Resources Corporation on the New York Stock Exchange? Manipulating the stock market? Maybe. Then you got O by itself, and that ends up being Reality Income Corporation on, I believe, the New York Stock Exchange. Yes, on the New York Stock Exchange, guys, okay? Then you've got D, which we've seen before. It's Dominion Energy on the New York Stock Exchange. All right. Then you've got UC, and UC winds up being UC Resources Ltd. on MarketWatch. All right, it's another market. TI ends up being Texas Instruments Incorporated on the NASDAQ. Then you've got V, and V by itself is Visa Incorporated on the New York Stock Exchange. And my fiance said now we can at some point probably expect to see MasterCard hit too on the New York Stock Exchange, but we haven't seen that yet or caught it. So then you're moved on, and you've got ETH, and ETH ends up being Ethan Allen Interiors Incorporated on the New York Stock Exchange. All right, EDA is your next set of letters, and that ends up being Endus on the London Stock Exchange. So there's another stock market. This one's on the London, but we've seen that hit before as well. It's a pattern. RK ends up being Rockhaven Resources Ltd. on the CVE, which is some exchange. I forget now because I did this last night, but anyway, it's on a stock market. W by itself ends up being Wayfair Incorporated on the New York Stock Exchange. Then we backed that up and took WI just to see. And sure enough, Western Investment Company of Canada Ltd. on MarketWatch, I believe. And then you get, you're back to TH again, and you got Thera Technologies on the Tokyo Stock Exchange that we've seen already hit up top. E by itself, guys, is the mathematical constant, remember. Then you got IGL. was your next three letters. And IGL ends up being Indraparstha Gas Limited on, I think that's the New York Stock Exchange, guys. It's a stock exchange. No, I'm going to make sure I get this right. I've made a mistake before, guys. Western Investment Company of Canada Ltd. on Market Watch. Okay, that was the last one, I think. Yeah, on the NSE, which I assume is the New York Stock Exchange, but maybe not, guys. But it's definitely on a market. Indraprastha Gas Limited. All right. ADS ends up being Alliance Data Systems on the New York Stock Exchange. I'll provide all these links, guys. Three S's. SSS ends up being Sunbest Minerals Corporation on the CVE. And it's a market, and I'll provide the link. S by itself, we all know, is Sprint. And two S's, SS, ends up being SS Financial Group. They analyze the stock market and stuff. Then you've got SDA, which ends up being Speedcast International Ltd. On the Australian Stock Exchange. I don't think that's what it's called, but it's the Australian market, guys. Then we're coming backwards now, by the way. You can go through your S's again, but we're coming backwards, starting with SDA. Then you've got GIH, which ends up being Gold Resources Corporation on the Frankfurt Stock Exchange. All right, so there's another stock exchange. Then you got Texas Instruments, TI, once again, incorporated on the NASDAQ. WK by itself winds up being Workivia Incorporated on the New York Stock Exchange. What a shock. RA ends up being Brookfield. RA ends up being Brookfield RIA SHSBEN International INT on the New York Stock Exchange. Their initials are RA. So there's another one. DE ends up being Deere and Company on the New York Stock Exchange. HT, Hersha Hospitality Trust on the New York Stock Exchange again. Then you come to EVI. We're coming backwards. We're at EVI. And that ends up being Envirostar Incorporated on the New York Stock Exchange American. And TC ends up being Two Cows on the Tokyo Stock Exchange. A lot of stocks markets getting hit here at the same time as you had the bioengineering and chemical engineering stuff. So UDO equals UDO Holdings PLC on Bloomberg. So another market being hit, manipulated. RAE, could it be the dead end? Nope, it couldn't. RAE Systems Incorporated on NASDAQ. So another market. H is Hyatt Hotels Corporation on the New York Stock Exchange. T by itself, we all know, is AT&T on the New York Stock Exchange. And HT by itself, we're back to HT, guys, and that's Hersha Hospitality Trust on the New York Stock Exchange. And that gets you through forwards and backwards of Nirvana's in bloom in the category of money, stock market. Will there be a part 3 of In Bloom Decode? Maybe. Maybe. there might be something else in here worth decoding. It was a 4.2%. But for now, I'm ready to make the call that if you ask me why, or ask me and my fiance, she's not in here at the moment, but if you ask me and my fiance why Nirvana's In Bloom changed to the tune of 4.2%, we will confidently tell you because somebody with a quantum computer was calculating genetics, bioengineering, chemical engineering, chemistry, and money. And that's what they were doing, and it changed Nirvana's In Bloom just a little bit. Now, is there another category in there? Probably. There probably is, and we will see if I do that or if we just figure that we all get the point. But we'll take a look and see what else is in there, and I'll report one way or another, either on our next video, on our next song, or you'll see a part 3, guys, of Nirvana In Bloom decode. So that's going to be it for now, guys. Thanks for all your thumbs up, thumbs down. Thanks for all your comments, feedback, support in our time of loss. And thanks for all your subscriptions, guys. And thanks a lot for watching. And for now, you guys have a great rest of your night.